Thank you both for your willingness to serve. I thought we'd take a moment and let you introduce your family if you'd like. Mr. Walk.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I'm grateful to be joined here by my wife, Ruth, my 4 daughters, Joanna, Phoebe, Hannah, and Grace.
Wonderful. Mr. Bell.
Thank you, Senator. Senator, I'm joined by my wife, Mariam Bell, a beacon of good advice, kindness, and patience. We've both worked here in Washington since 1982, and she's with me here today.
And that's why you've been married so long, because you appreciate that advice, right?
That's correct.
There have been accusations made that you may be partisans, or that you may be people that are just diabolically going to do Republican things and search after Democrats. I'd like to ask you both individually, will you look at waste and fraud and at the parameters of your job and administer it independent of whether the targets might be Republican or Democrat appointees?
Senator, I will.
Yes, sir, I will.
Is there anything else that either of you would like to mention about your jobs that we haven't gotten to that you'd like to bring forward to the committee? One of the programs that I think will be under Mr. Walk's purview is the SNAP program. The GAO found that 12% of the payments from the SNAP program, about $10 billion, were improper. Do you have any ideas, Mr. Walk, about how we'd go about, or how an Inspector General would go about looking at fraud in the SNAP program?
Mr. Chairman, thank you for that question. As Ranking Member Peters mentioned, I did serve for 4 months as Acting Deputy Undersecretary of FNCS, and SNAP fraud was one of the issues that I was very much interested in. I believe we should make sure that we are continuing to look at internal controls to be sure that the actions that are being taken are appropriate for the types of fraud that's happening today, because we see it at all levels, from the application to the retail stores, as well as outside folks who might be skimming. That's been a real problem. We've had a lot stolen through skimming from international gangs. And so I think we want to make sure that we have the internal controls in place, that we're doing more in terms of our management evaluations to be sure the states are following the guidance. There's also, I think, room for improvements in terms of technology. I'm sure you all know that right now SNAP is still on an EBT card for the most case, which is essentially a magnetic strip. So it's well behind other payment systems that would have a chip. So it's low-hanging fruit, and that does make it easier and more enticing for folks to try to skim from that. And I think we do want to look at technology and how we can improve technology and how we can use technology to identify fraud and identify the patterns so that we can go after it. And I'm happy to say we have an Office of Analytics and Innovation at the OIG that has been doing some good work in that area, and I'd love to explore if we can do even more. And finally, I think it's important to increase the consequences for fraud. I think we can do more in terms of pursuing federal criminal prosecutions and making sure that we're building the cases for the Department of Justice to go after those who commit fraud with taxpayer dollars.
Senator Blumenthal.